Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel. This is Miguel with the series How to Combine the DC Deck Building Sets. This will be the 20th deck profile. In this episode we will be covering crossover 8, Batman Ninja. The new keyword for this crossover is ninjutsu. Let me show you a card. When you play a card you own with ninjutsu, you may either play it normally, resolving the top text, or return it to the lineup as you play it, to also trigger the text after ninjutsu. If you do, resolve the basic text first, then the ninjutsu effect. If you decline to use ninjutsu when playing the card, you cannot later place it into the lineup that turn. You may only ninjutsu cards you own. The oversized superheroes for this set are Batman, Catwoman, Nightwing, Red Hood, Red Robin, Robin, and Promo Gorilla Grodd. There's also a new concept for this crossover, attachment for supervillains. Oversized supervillains cannot go into decks. Instead, attach lineup cards to their matching edge called slots. When defeated, a player gains all cards attached to that supervillain. Batman Ninja has a rule where, once per turn, if an empty slot matches a card type in the lineup, attach one matching card. You must do this if able before ending your turn. Attach by placing the card face up along the colored match edge. A supervillain can be defeated if not all slots are filled. After gaining attached cards, resolve its retaliation. Flip and set it aside when defeated. Together, the villain's castle combines into one final challenge. The Mega Castle can't be defeated until all 5 are in place. So we have part of the body, the legs, and then we have the face. For the theme of the main deck, we're going to focus on the 2018 movie Batman Ninja, where Batman and his team are sent to feudal Japan through Gorilla Grodd's Quake engine. We're going to also reference the Yakuza League from the sequel Batman Ninja vs. Yakuza League, released in 2025, and also bring in some Batman supporting characters. For availability, we're pulling from the original set, Heroes Unite, Forever Evil, Confrontations, Rebirth, Rivals 1, Crisis 1, 2, and 3, and Crossover Pack 8. For consistency, we'll have the main deck at 116 with 30 heroes, villains, equipment, and 20 superpowers with 6 locations. And now the deck profile. For heroes, we have at cost 1, singles of Monkichi and Monmi. Monkichi has the effect, you pay 2 less to defeat supervillains this turn. Ninjutsu, attach the top card of the main deck to the top of the supervillain stack, not into a slot. You can use Monkichi as a way to prevent cards from being bought by other players, but be careful if multiple cards are attached to the supervillain, because it might get bought out quicker. Monmi has the effect, you may put a card attached to a supervillain into a lineup. Ninjutsu, +1 power. Monmi is the counterpart of Monkichi to prevent cards from being gained from defeating the supervillain. At cost 2, we have doubles of Katana and Commissioner Gordon. Katana is a standard defense card that can let you draw a card to refill your hand when defending. Commissioner Gordon is part of the VP token mechanic, where it lets you gain a VP token when defending. At cost 3, we have a single copy of Alfred Pennyworth with doubles of Daughter of Gotham City, Plastic Man, and Catwoman. Alfred Pennyworth has the effect, put an equipment from your discard pile into your hand. Ninjutsu, put an additional equipment from your discard pile into your hand. Alfred Pennyworth can support equipment builds by adding up to 2 equipment from your discard pile into your hand at the cost of placing them back into the lineup. Daughter of Gotham City allows us to recover up to 2 punch cards from our discard pile for a boost in power. Plastic Man supports equipment builds by copying the effects of an equipment in your discard pile or in play. Catwoman is a way to counter foes who have been gaining VP tokens with cards like Commissioner Gordon with her attack. At cost 4, we have a single copy of Ninja Clan, Huntress, Oracle, with doubles of Sonic Siren, and Jessica Cruz. Ninja Clan has the effect, draw a card. Ninjutsu, draw 2 additional cards and then destroy a card in your hand. Ninja Clan can speed up your gameplay by drawing and letting you destroy a card at the cost of putting him back into the lineup. Huntress allows you to destroy a card in your discard pile as a way to thin out your deck. Oracle can set up future plays by letting you see the top 2 cards of your deck and drawing 1. Sonic Siren refreshes the lineup, helping to cycle out undesirable cards. Jessica Cruz can cycle through your deck by drawing 2 and discarding 1. At cost 5, we have a single copy of Ian, Dark Knight, The Fastest Man Alive, King of Atlantis, and Damian Wayne. Ian has the effect, you may play a card attached to a supervillain, leave it attached. If you do not choose to, draw a card. Ninjutsu, gain the card you played. Ian can gain cards attached to supervillains, preventing from other players from gaining the card you have played at the cost of returning him to the lineup. Dark Knight supports equipment builds by gaining all equipment from the lineup and can be played with Catwoman to put 1 into your hand. The Fastest Man Alive is a standard draw 2 cards with no drawbacks. King of Atlantis allows you to destroy a card in your discard pile as a way to thin out your deck and give you a boost in power. Damian Wayne allows you to draw a card for each ongoing you discard with his effect as a way to speed up your turns. He is balanced by the number of ongoings in this main deck. At cost 6, we have a single copy of Blue Beetle, Dick Grayson, and Tim Drake. Blue Beetle is a standard reveal to defend card that can defend from multiple attacks in 1 turn. Dick Grayson is an in-game card that can increase MVP value according to how many different ongoing cards you own. Tim Drake supports hero builds by putting a hero from your discard pile into your hand and can gain an equipment from the lineup without using the power generated. At cost 7, we have a single copy of Princess Diana of the Mascara. Princess Diana of the Mascara is a great card throughout the game because it can gain villains without using the power generated for the turn, letting you buy other cards. At cost 8, we have a single copy of Man of Steel. Man of Steel supports superpower builds by letting you recover all the superpowers from your discard pile for an explosive turn. For villains, at cost 2, we have a single copy of Guerrilla Army with doubles of Harley Quinn, Deadshot, and Two-Face. Guerrilla Army has the effect, +1 power and choose a foe. Attack. That foe discards a card with cost 5 or greater. This attack allows you to target other players who have been buying high cost cards and can work in tangent with other attacks. Harley Quinn is an attack that can have each foe put a starter from their discard pile on top of their deck to slow them down in the early game. Deadshot is another attack that can disrupt the top of each foe's deck. Two-Face is a draw card if decks are built with a majority of even or odd cards to call correctly. At cost 3, we have a single copy of the Joker Patrol with doubles of the Penguin, Mr. Zsasz, and Man-Bat. The Joker Patrol has the effect, draw a card and choose a foe, attack. That foe gains a card with cost 0 from the destroyed pile. The Joker Patrol can return starter cards that have been destroyed and can clog foes' decks of undesirable cards with his attack. The Penguin is here to cycle through your deck and speed up your turns at the cost of discarding 2. He can pair well with other draw cards to discard undesirable cards and refill your hand. Mr. Zsasz is another form of disruption with his attack to give out weakness cards to players that have revealed an odd card from the top of their decks. Man-Bat is a defense card that can steal VP tokens from the attacker when defending. It is meant to counter players who have been gaining a lot of VP tokens. At cost 4, we have a single copy of Harley Quinn, Bane from Rivals 1, with doubles of Bane from the original set, Clayface, and Killer Croc. Harley Quinn has the effect +2 power attack. Each foe discards a card with ninjutsu. Harley Quinn is here to counter the foes who have been collecting ninjutsu cards through her attack. Rival 1 Bane allows you to destroy a card in your hand or discard pile as a way to thin out your deck. Bane from the original set is a standard attack that can work in tangent with other attacks to make players vulnerable by leaving them empty-handed. Clayface is here to copy other card effects, especially from the single copy cards of Batman Ninja. Killer Croc supports villain builds by giving you a boost in power if you control another villain. At cost 5, we have doubles of Scarecrow and Gorilla Grodd. Scarecrow is a standard attack that can work in tangent with other attacks to make players vulnerable to weaknesses. Giving out weakness cards is the best way to slow down players throughout and at the end of the game because they clog up decks with undesirable cards and give -1 VPs when counting victory points. Gorilla Grodd is the standard boost in power with 3 power and no drawbacks. At cost 6, we have a single copy of Bane from Crossover 8, Copperhead, and Hugo Strange. Crossover 8 Bane has the effect +2 power attack. Each foe gains a weakness. Ninjutsu, play the top card of each foe's deck. Return them at the end of the turn. Bane is a standard attack card with an extra effect to play the top card of each foe's deck at the cost of placing him back into the lineup. Copperhead can add the top card of the main deck into the lineup and attack to make each foe discard a card for each villain in the lineup. It can pair well with Sonic Siren to scout the main deck for more villains. Hugo Strange is another draw 2 cards with no drawbacks. At cost 7, we have a single copy of Gorilla Grodd from Crossover 8. Crossover 8 Gorilla Grodd has the effect, you may play up to 2 cards attached to a supervillain. Leave them attached. If you do choose not to, +3 power. Gorilla Grodd can extend your plays on turns where you have supervillains that have a lot of cards attached. For equipment, we have at cost 1, doubles of Birdarang. Birdarang supports hero builds by giving you a boost in power. At cost 2, we have a single copy of Bat Glider and doubles of Eskrima-Stix. Bat Glider has the effect, look at the top card of your deck. You may put it on the bottom of your deck, discard it, or leave it. Ninjutsu, play the top card of your deck. Bat Glider works as a way to cycle through your deck and can play the top card of your deck at the cost of returning Bat Glider to the lineup. Eskrima-Stix allows you to recover a card with cost 3 or lower equipment from your discard pile as a way to replay cards like Bat Glider and Birdarang. At cost 3, we have a single copy of Warhorse with doubles of Detonator, Bowstaff, and Batmobile. Warhorse has the effect +1 power. You may put a hero from your discard pile on top of your deck. Ninjutsu, put all heroes instead and in a random order. Warhorse supports hero builds by setting up future turns with multiple heroes on top of your deck. Detonator is an ongoing card with a delayed effect to destroy a card in your discard pile as a way to thin out your deck. Bowstaff gives you a boost of power if there are villains in the lineup and can be played with Copperhead to ensure there are villains in the lineup. Batmobile works as a mulligan if it's the first card you have played this turn. At cost 4, we have a single copy of Samurai Armor, Katana, with doubles of the Cape and Cowl, Mallet, Flight Wings, and Batarang. Samurai Armor has the effect, draw a card, ongoing, defense, discard this card in play or discard 2 cards from your hand to avoid an attack. Samurai Armor should be paired with draw cards to refill your hand if you try to defend from multiple attacks. Katana has the effect, +2 power. Ninjutsu, additional +3 power. Katana serves as a way to boost in power at the cost of returning it to the lineup. The Cape and Cowl is your standard defense card that can draw 2 cards when defending. Mallet is here as a way to either give players undesirable cards or draw into cards you may need for the turn. Flight Wings can put multiple cards on top of your deck that were bought or gained in the turn of playing it. Batarang is a standard defense card that is +1 power and draw a card, and can draw a card when defending. At cost 5, we have a single copy of Batcycle Armor, Sniper Rifle, with doubles of the Bat Signal, and Utility Belt. Bat Armor Cycle has the effect +2 power. Ninjutsu, draw 2 cards. Defense, you may reveal this card from your hand to avoid an attack. Batcycle Armor is a low cost reveal to defend card that can give you an explosive turn at the cost of returning it to the lineup. Sniper Rifle is a great attack when it lands because it can reveal each foe's hand and you can discard the most powerful card in the bunch. The Bat Signal supports hero builds by allowing you to recover a hero from your discard pile. Utility Belt is your endgame card that increases in VP value depending on the number of equipment you own. At cost 6, we have doubles of Broadsword. Broadsword is an excellent attack for this main deck because it has a lot of low cost cards to destroy. For superpowers, at cost 1, we have doubles of Acrobatic Agility. Acrobatic Agility is a low-cost defense card that can be bought in the early game when you cannot afford to buy a kick. At cost 2, we have doubles of Forever Evil Insanity and Rivals 1 Insanity. Forever Evil Insanity can force players to interact with each other by passing a card to the left if it's the first card you have played. Rivals 1 Insanity is a standard defense card that can let you draw a card to refill your hand when defending. At cost 3, we have doubles of Colony of Bats and Homicidal Maniac. Colony of Bats has the effect, reveal the top 3 cards of the main deck. Put 2 of them on the bottom of the main deck and add the other one to the lineup. Ninjutsu, play the card instead and then return it at the end of the turn. Colony of Bats allows you to scout the main deck and play the card you placed at the cost of returning Colony of Bats to the lineup. Homicidal Maniac allows you to cycle through your deck by letting you draw a card or destroying it. At cost 4, we have a single copy of Chlorokinesis with doubles of Canary Cry and Bulletproof. Chlorokinesis is a great way to scout what players will possibly draw into and make them discard it when you believe they can gain an advantage drawing into it. Canary Cry supports villain builds because it can put villains on the top of their deck or into their hand when defending. Bulletproof is a standard defense card that can draw a card and destroy a card in your discard pile when defending. At cost 6, we have doubles of Million Monkey Maneuvers and World's Greatest Detective. Million Monkey Maneuvers has the effect, play a non-ongoing card in the lineup. When it leaves play, return it. If you control Colony of Bats, you may destroy it to gain a set aside Bat God instead. Million Monkey Maneuvers is here as a way to get the lucrative card Batman God when combined with Colony of Bats. Otherwise, it can serve to play cards from the lineup at an earlier cost of not being able to buy them. World's Greatest Detective is another reveal to defend card that can gain you +1 power and draw a card when played. At cost 9, we have a single copy of Batman God. Batman God has the effect, when this card enters the lineup, set it aside and replace it. Draw 4 cards. Batman God is your lucrative card for this set because it is draw 4 cards with no drawbacks, but it can be gained when played with Million Monkey Maneuvers effect combined with Colony of Bats together. For locations, at cost 4, we have a single copy of Feudal Japan and Blackgate Prison. Feudal Japan has the effect, ongoing. Once during each of your turns, if there are 6 or more cards in the lineup, draw a card. This is a great draw engine in this set because you are more likely to have 6 or more cards in the lineup thanks to the ninjutsu effect. Blackgate Prison is here as a destroy/VP token engine for weaknesses and vulnerabilities for when you reveal one of them from the top of your deck. At cost 5, we have singles of Arkham Asylum, Batcave, and Gotham City. Arkham Asylum and the Batcave are draw engines for their respective card types. Gotham City can cycle through your unwanted cards and draw equipment that were revealed with this effect. At cost 6, we have a single copy of Wayne Manor. Wayne Manor supports hero builds by putting a hero from your discard pile on the bottom of your deck, making it more likely to draw into heroes. If you feel like you need more ongoings, you can always add Arkham Asylum from Rivals 1. In closing, that's just one way to combine DC deck building sets. Remember, there's no single correct way to build your main deck. These videos are here to inspire ideas and start conversations. What would you change? Do you want Cryptozoic to release a sequel to this crossover with the Yakuza League? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share all the YouTube things. I'll see you on the next one.